Okay, so are you a startup founder or you're an entrepreneur, right? But let me clarify what I mean by being a startup founder. I mean, are you building a business that is in its early stage, a business or a product that is in its early stage? Now, in the aspect of funding, it is regarded as are you in your pre-seed or your seed funding or maybe your Series A funding stage, right? And you're looking at raising $100,000 for your startup or your business in the case of being an entrepreneur. I want to show you in the next couple of minutes how you can raise $100,000 without pitching to an investor or seeking an investor. And I have my reasons why I would prefer that you do not seek or pitch to an investor, right, for funding. And you're going to be like, what's this guy talking about? What's the other way to raise fund if I'm not pitching or seeking an investor or a VC, right? Now, there are several other ways. And what I'm going to share with you is one of the other alternative that is very effective. It's now the amazing thing about the strategy I'm going to share with you is that it is fast, it's faster than pitching to an investor. Also, it does not take equity from you, like you losing equity in the case of when you pitch to an investor. And even if the investor says yes, right, you're literally going to probably give equity to the investor. In some of the cases, maybe 15%, 10%, 30%, or even up to 40%, right? And also, so you're not giving out equity, right? You're raising fast, you're not giving out equity, and most importantly, you are able to be profitable at the end. I mean, what do I mean by the end? I mean exits, when you intend to exit the business. So what are the different exit strategy? There is either you're launching an IPO, which means you're going public, selling your shares to the public by launching an IPO, getting listed in one of the stock exchange, depending on your location, or you're selling your business to another business, to a bigger business, which again could be either a private equity firm is buying you off, or another VC company or VC firm is buying you, or maybe a private business is buying you off, right? So any of these options, or maybe third option, which is not exactly an exit, is you just keeping your business to run cash flow, right? But in most cases, when startup founders start a business, in most cases, not in all cases, they are literally building a product or building a business to exit the business, which means most likely launch an IPO or sell the business. I mean, about 60 to 90% of the time, startup founder end up selling the business, not launching an IPO. And I'll tell you why it is so. I know, I don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I'll get back to what I want to share with you, the strategy to raise funds, raise funds for your business, especially if you want to raise 100K and above, right, for your business. So don't worry, I'll get back to that shortly. But um, now, when it comes to exiting, right, the moment if you're a founder who is looking, I'm going to expose something here right now. And the investors are not going to like me for this, what I'm going to say, but it's okay, it's fine. So if you're a startup founder, and anyway, I'll just go ahead and say it. I do not want to misfire or lose track of what I'm saying, rather. So if you're a startup founder and your primary goal or vision of building your startup is to make it a generational business, not just profitability. I mean, profitability is the first goal, of course. If you're not profitable, then you're not in business. I mean, why are you doing business? So, yes, profitability, but it is beyond just being profitable, but you building a generational business, which means you want to build a business that outlives you. You're not in the flipping game, flipping of business. You know, in real estate, they have real estate flippers, people who buy a property and then upgrades the property and then sell it to another real estate company or developer, or as the case may be, right? Another client. Those are flippers. You buy, you develop, and then you sell, right? That's more like the same thing in building a business startup. So, but if you're not in that game of buying and selling, sorry, building and selling, then I honestly want to advise you to not go for funding with investors, with VCs, venture capitalists, because the primary essence for a venture capitalist, the primary goal for a venture capitalist to invest in your business is simply because of the exit strategy, which is selling your business so that they can be profitable. Now, there are so many things that are not told to startup founders when they are taking funding from venture capitalists, which is that, well, when you sign that contract, right, and you take the fund from the venture capitalist, the fact is at exit, the goal of the venture of the VC and on that contract is that they will 100x their investment, which means that they'll make 100% profits on whatever investment they've given to you. I mean, did I say 100% profit? I'm sorry. They'll make minimum of 100% profit. So imagine that you got $100,000 or maybe 200 or maybe $500,000 from a VC firm, right? By the time you're exiting, first, you're going to be forced to exit. It will be stated in the contract. You're not going to get this is I'm telling you, you're not going to hear it from many VCs, right? You're not going to hear it from VCs or even investors or even in the startup ecosystem, right? But it's there. I mean, I'm saying all of this because I run a private equity company, right? And we know these things. We've been there, we've done it and all. And our responsibility right now is to liberate startup entrepreneurs. Now, are we saying taking on venture capital funds and all of that is wrong? Certainly not. The fact is you need venture capital funds. Well, the truth is that there is a time and point where when you need to take on VC's funding, right? Not when you're in your early stage, pre-seed and all of that. Anyway, let me get back to what I'm saying. So in the contract, it will be stated there that at some point, the VC will have control to sell the business because that's the only way they can get their money back. I mean, not literally going to be stated sell the business, but it will be exit the business. There has to be an exit point. As long as there's an entry point, right, there's going to be an exit point. What is the entry point now? The entry point is not you building the business. No, the entry point is the moment you choose to take on outside funding. The moment you choose to take on outside funding, that has created an entry point. So in the case of taking funding from VCs, venture capitalists or venture capital firms, right, you've created an entry point. And once there's an entry point, there's certainly going to be an exit point. Now, what is the exit point? The exit point, most of the time, like I said, between 60 to 85, 90% of the time is selling the business to another business, right? Having the business being acquired by a bigger business, maybe a private equity firm, another bigger VC, or maybe a private investor, right? Now, the fact is this, the VC are going to pressurize you, insist that you develop the business because they're going to give you resources. You're going to have, resources available at your disposal and all of that. Now, they're going to pressurize you, put the pressure on you to build a business with the resources you've been given so that they can exit that business as quick as possible. Most of the time is between 3 years to a maximum of 7 years. I mean, no VCs, trust me, VCs do not want to build a business for another 10 years, except if they are launching an IPO. And most of the time, they do not go IPO, right? They do not go public with the business. They just sell the business and do the same thing, find another business, take the profit from what the business they sold, find another business, buy into that business, repeat the same circle. Now, you know what I call that circle? I call it bootstrapping. Exactly. The same thing that you should be doing to raise funds for your own business is what the VCs are doing, but they don't want you to see it, and they kind of somehow discourage you not to do that, and they tell you need to take funding. As a matter of fact, take what giving you funding, do your stuff, use the fund and all. The moment you take the fund is a whole different ballgame. I would recommend you do not take funding from VCs if you're in your early stage of growth of your startup, right? But like I said, yes, there's a point where you can take funding from VCs, which is pretty cool. Now, so the question is, how do you grow your business without taking funding from VCs or angel investors who want to take equity or who would likely take equity from you, and they will have control over your business and probably force you to exit the business. Again, exit, launch an IPO, or sell the business. In most cases, you don't launch an IPO. In most cases, you sell, right? And when you sell as an entrepreneur or as a startup founder, guess what happens to you? You go back to square one. Now you're gonna be like, no, you're wrong, Wale. Well, the fact is this, and I know of stories. Trust me, I know stories of founders. And in fact, I recently had one in my inbox on LinkedIn, right? I know stories of founders or co-founders, right, who have exited their business thinking they, as founders, will be profitable after the exit. And after the business is sold, tax deduction and all of those, you know, expenses, deductions and all, they discover that they're almost left with nothing. And most of the profit is taken away by the VC, the investors. Now, this is what usually happens. When a VC invests in your business, what they are doing is really you're giving $500,000 as funding, Series A, or maybe seed funding. The reality is this: you're just being paid upfront. That's the fact. You're just being paid upfront. The profit you should be making in your own business, you're getting it upfront, right? And you know the principle about life: delayed gratification is always better. But in this case, you're getting your gratification instantly, and then the VC delays their own gratification to get it when they exit the business, so when they sell off the business. So you find out that the VC is taking about 70 to 85, or sometimes even 90% of the sales, the profit from the sales. And you're left with almost nothing, which is why you see so many founders who have exited their business when they take funding from investors. After exiting, they go back to start another business again. Right? They go back to start building another product or another business, right? Yeah, I just released the truth. Now, you won't hear this from founders who have taken funding from VCs, angel investors, and all, because why? They can't say it. This is the truth. They can't say it because why? They have signed an NDA. If they dare say it, it's a big trouble for them, right? But here I am, I'm telling you the truth because I run a private equity company, and our primary responsibility as a private equity company is to liberate entrepreneurs. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of contrary because, yes, we do acquisition as well. We do not invest to control, we acquire. And in some cases, which we do, we manage businesses, right? We help raise funds when it is right to raise funds, and we teach you how to raise funds, like the strategy I'm just about going to share with you. And yes, to let you know, I deliberately kept this strategy till the end of the video to share it with you so that you can learn the lessons of what I have just shared previously up to now. So now, that being said, let's get straight into the strategy of how you can raise funding for your startup without pitching to an angel investor, a VC, an investor, and without giving out equity or losing control of your business, especially if you want to build a cash flow business and be highly profitable and build a business that outlives you. Okay, this is for you. But if you're that entrepreneur who you're just concerned about, I want to build and sell. Okay, this might not exactly be for you. Well, it's still for you because you can still build and sell without taking funding from investors. Okay, great. So first thing first, I need to clarify here now. The fact is, whether you're an entrepreneur, a startup entrepreneur, you're building a business or whatever, the fact is this: you need funds. That is it. Period. You need funds. There's no alternative. Okay? Get me straight. There is no alternative. You need funds. Now, the thing is, you do not just need funds, you need funding. What does that mean? It means that you need funds continuously, not just one-time funds. You need funds continuously. So, for example, you get 100K, you need 100Ks continuously, right? The first time you get 100K, next you need 500K, you need $1 million, and so on. Continuously, you need funds. So the question is, But if you're saying I shouldn't pitch to investors and I shouldn't take money from VCs, so how do I raise funds? I'm going to tell you right now. So the strategy that we're employing is that what we are doing with our private equity firm, and I say this with all humility and with all boldness and transparency, we have not taken a dime from any investor, pension fund, name it, whatever, not a dime. And we're still running and building our private equity company. As a matter of fact, we've done our acquisition, we've acquired other business, and we're still growing businesses. And guess what? We're even buying into other businesses as well. We're private equity, we're a private equity company. And I mean, please, I'm sorry. Okay, fine. So the strategy that we're using is this, right? What we've done is as the CEO, I mean, the founder, the CEO, what I did is, first of all, before starting a private equity company, I developed skills, got experiences, and knowledge, skill, experiences, knowledge. Like I took time to develop this. Now, for you, right, you probably, I mean, I don't know you, but I am very certain that you have a skill. Like you have something, you have a value. It might not be a skill, it might be an experience. It might not be an experience, it might be a knowledge. You certainly have something to offer. I mean, you have something of value that you can use to solve problems for people. So I have experience, I have skills. I can't even count the skills I have, but again, please forgive me. I say that with all humility. And then I have knowledge as well, right? And with these things that I have, I can solve multiple problems for people. Trust me, in business, in personal development, our strategy is that with my skill, knowledge, and experience, what we do is we create what we call an offer, right? And then I'm going to talk about offer, creating an offer in another video, not in this video. Or better still, I wrote an ebook. I wrote a book, right, which is an e-format, Raise Growth Fund, and I detailed the strategy we used in that book. So if you want that book, I mean, it's completely for free. The link is in the description, so you can click the description to get the book. I detailed the strategy we're using to fund our business. Now, like I said, every business needs funding. Every startup needs funding, right? So what we did is we create an offer. Well, before creating an offer, we create what we call our fundraising machine or our fundraising system, right? It's a system that continuously raises funds for us, right? And within that system is we create an offer within that system. So what we did is, for example, if we want to raise 100K within another 30 days or even less, without honesty, we just take that offer and sell it for 25K to 4 persons. And guess what? We've reached our we've reached our $100,000 revenue or fundraising that we need to make, right? It's as simple as that. Like, yes, it's as simple as that. Now, the challenge with people is that they don't know how to create an offer, they don't know how to sell, and you'll be like, I'm building a product, and you're asking me to create an offer. Guess what? We are building multiple products as well. We have Grow High University, we have Amica, we have Bob FS Company. We're building multiple products. We have our online professional coaching agency and so on and so forth. We're building 4 products at the same time as I'm speaking with you, but we are still able to do this because we've created it as a system that generates funds for us continuously. Right. So if you want to learn how we do this, like I said, I've detailed this in the book I wrote, Raise Growth Fund. The link is in the description under this video. Click on it and go get your free copy. And just while you're getting your free copy, I have there's also a special invitation for you just when you're getting the free copy. So once you enter your name and your email, you get the free copy. There's an invitation waiting for you on the next page. So I'm letting you know so that you're aware of the invitation and then you access the invitation or you get the invitation, whichever one, right? So, but that being said, it's very easy to raise 100K or whatever amount you want to raise, right? Without pitching to an investor. Did I say it's very easy? Well, maybe not easy, but it's very, very possible because we are doing it. Other people have done it. Other people have done it. Other startup or companies have done it. Guess what? It's the same strategy ClickFunnels used in bootstrapping your business without taking a dime from a VC company, an angel investor, or outside funding. The same strategy. And guess what? ClickFunnels is valued at over $200 million in annual revenue. If you want to do this, click the button, go get the book, Raise Growth Fund. The link is in the comment section. My name is Wale Adebayo, and thank you for taking our time to watch this video. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.